hottest topics, the latest rumors, in-depth discussions, and the biggest headlines. Your weekly WWE fix all in one place. Find us on YouTube, iTunes, Automatic, and SoundCloud. This is the Main Event Podcast with your hosts, Imran, Arif, and Raza. It's time for the Main Event.
For weeks now, all we've said is we're going to talk about Finn Balor next week, the week after, for about 5 weeks now. But finally, today we're talking.
Stay tuned next week.
Finn Balor today, not next week. Today we're talking about Finn Balor.
It's going to be the Finn Balor show. We could call it. Oh my god, we could call it the Balor Club.
Spoiler alert, Arif. Is there any point in recording?
Should we
just leave?
We retire now.
Today we are looking at whether a Demon Balor works best or a potential Balor Club. King Barrett returned on Monday Night Raw as well, so we discussed that and his potential plans. And there's a live event on the WWE Network this weekend as well, live from Madison Square Garden, where the Big Show takes on Brock Lesnar. So we have our predictions for that show as well as much more on episode 47 of the Main Event Podcast. As always, I'm your host Reza, and joining me, as you already heard, is Arif. How you doing?
I'm good. I didn't realize we had to prepare something for this class. Imran, can I just copy your predictions?
There's predictions in this class. Do you have a WWE pay-per-view?
It's not exactly a pay-per-view. Just a live event.
You can see why Imran's excited, because he's the one who won last week.
But the question is, does Imran want to defend his title?
1-0.
I'm like Cena. Open US Championship all the time. Go for it.
We'll go for it. How are you doing today, Imran?
I'm not too bad. It's my birthday today. It was Raza's birthday 2 days ago, so happy birthday, Raza.
You too. Thank you for taking time out to be here today. If you didn't miss
birthday, Imran. What? You two? What is this you two business? You two are a band.
If you missed it, then we did record an episode last week that you can go back and listen to and download, episode 46. We discussed whether the so-called pipe bomb by Paige could lead to any of the changes to the Divas division, potential storylines for Seth Rollins, our Night of Champions review, and so on. So if you're interested in what we had to say on those subjects and more, please do go back, download and listen. Remember, you can listen and download on a variety of platforms and outlets as well. It's completely up to you where you decide to listen. We're available on Podomatic, Mixcloud, TuneIn Radio, Player FM. They're just some of the options if you use any of those. If not, then you can find us on Deezer, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Simply search for the Main Event Podcast and you will find us. If you prefer to listen in on YouTube, then you can do just that. Simply search for the Main Event Podcast, or if you want, you can visit our website, www.themaineventwrestling.com. You can click on the latest article to read a little bit about what our latest episode is about, and click play to listen.
Very well done.
Thank you. Finally, you can keep in touch with us here at the Main Event Podcast on Facebook, the Main Event Podcast WWE. Give that page a like. At TME Podcast on Twitter, you can follow us there. You can contact us on our email address as well, tmepodcast@gmail.com. I know it's Imran who's taken over email duties. Any birthday wishes or abuse towards Arif, anything like that?
What?
So you didn't get my emails then?
Would I check? Okay, I will check. I will definitely.
Well, next week on the Balor episode, Imran will check.
Let's move on with today's show. Today's episode, some good topics picked out today, and we're going to begin with Monday Night Raw. We all have our opinions on what we thought of Monday Night Raw or what we think of Monday Night Raw. Some of us are loving the current product, others aren't loving it as much. This past week, it sounded as if every single person in Buffalo hated the show.
Well, it didn't sound like anyone was at the show.
Exactly. I think we've all noticed how poor the crowd reaction was on Monday. What do you think it actually comes down to? Is it the storylines, or are we going to put all the blame on the Titantron?
I think we've got to put the blame on the Titantron to begin with.
But is that the real reason? Is
it ever? Okay, this week it was probably the real reason, because like the market research has shown that from past episodes of Raw, we don't get that same sort of reaction. It's always cheers for certain people, so the New Day always get that really good reaction. Yeah. You'll always get John Cena getting that really, really good polarized reaction as well. People like Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, they get cheered. We didn't get any of that this week, and it just seemed really, really stilted. It took away a lot from the product.
That's the thing. I mean, with Cena, when he comes out, you get the remix of his song "John Cena Sucks."
John Cena Sucks.
New Day on the trombone with their rendition of Cena.
New Day rocks.
Exactly. We didn't get that as much as the other previous shows. So, Imran, what do you think? Are we putting the blame on the Titantron? Because I don't think that's the entire reason.
No, I don't think it's the entire reason. I mean, look at how the show started off. Started off really fun with the New Day coming out, doing their usual stunts. But I felt like John Cena wasn't having it. He completely shut them down, shut down their jokes.
Yeah, what was wrong
took a
with
serious
Cena?
tone. Exactly.
What was wrong with Cena? Did he find out about the Dolph Ziggler thing?
And he's gonna take it on Xavier Woods.
He just took it out on Xavier.
Exactly.
Do you want to hear something really funny?
Of course.
Dolph Ziggler is a former World Heavyweight Champion.
Don't lie to me.
I'm
Please.
not. Do you know what? This is genuinely true.
Next, you say Jack Swagger was, but
I don't know.
but let's look at another reason why I think we got bad reaction by the two guys that are getting the biggest pushes right now, which are Big Show and Kane.
Oh yeah.
That says it all.
Well, they don't really get a reaction anyway, do they? So, well, it's one thing to get a negative reaction. It's one thing to get no reaction at all. And when you get no reaction at all, that's kind of speaking volumes. But do you think this is becoming a trend? Was it just this was a bad show? I didn't think it was. We had the United Open Challenge, D's and Divas segment, Cena team with Dudley's, Rollins and Kane segment were okay as well. Do you think it's a bad show which is making the fans not react in the way we want them to? Or is there any other external factor that's affecting it?
It's not necessarily a bad show in the traditional sense. It's a bad show if you were to compare the WWE now to the WWF of the Attitude Era and things of that sort of aspect. But compared to their recent shows, it's very average. It's just the same, which is fine, which is completely fine. Obviously, you've got Kane in the main event, which is not ideal. Obviously, you've got to promote Big Show versus Brock Lesnar without Brock Lesnar even being there, which isn't ideal. And obviously, John Cena seemed to have something up his something this week that made him seem really annoyed. And that's not ideal either. He's supposed to be the face of the company and the most charismatic superstar ever. But it's just... It's a really difficult one because Monday Night Football is taking away everything right now. It's all Monday Night Football's fault. That's who I'm blaming.
I disagree. I think it was just a bad show. I mean,
really this is not Monday Night Football's fault.
Exactly. It's just a bad show. I mean, to me, it feels like WWE's stuck on between two stones. They've got the Madison Square Garden show. They've got the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and we're going to get the rubber match, guys, between Taker and Brock Lesnar, but we got none of that whatsoever. And it's only weeks away.
They can't start promoting it until after MSG.
Yeah, but that's sort of like the whole problem. And again, going on to Big Show, I mean, Big Show was decimated within like 5 minutes. That's the last thing I remember of Big Show doing. That was anything relevant by the
No, he took out Cesaro. That was good.
Did he?
Yeah.
No, all I remember is the retire chance that he got after WrestleMania as well. I mean, going back to the Divas Revolution that you were saying before, even that, I think it just sucked. I think they were just relegated to having a Miz's segment, and Miz was the one who was supposed to carry the Divas. Yeah, it was a horrible Raw, in my opinion. I didn't like it whatsoever.
So, we know ratings haven't been great. There's no denying that. Do you think it comes down to poor product then, resulting in poor reaction / low viewership numbers? Or do you think this was just a one-off and next week we'll be back to normal?
The product hasn't changed. The product hasn't changed. You can't blame something that hasn't changed. Yes, it's been a bit stagnant.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, next week, if they have the entire Raw segments and all of the matches in the ring and they have the Titantron on the entire time, because it makes a big difference. We've been to Raw. We've been to a Raw show. And we have noticed it when the Titantron goes empty or when it just shows the WWE logo, the crowd goes dead. This happens a lot. This is a normal reaction for a crowd. So therefore, if that's the case the entire show, then I'm not blaming them for giving such a poor reaction. Ultimately, next week we'll see. We'll see once the Titantron's all sorted out and the crowd can watch what's happening at all times. There'll be a better reaction. Plus, the crowd itself. Where were they?
Buffalo. Yeah.
There you go, Buffalo. Where that's not even a real place. That's an animal.
Okay, I lied. But I agree with you there because obviously while we saw the Titantron, did play a big part, and it doesn't help when fans have to scramble towards the front. They have to stand up, squint so they can't even see the ring because they're that far away. It doesn't help. But do you think that was a technical issue or did we do it on purpose? Let's just stick the Raw logo there.
Why would they do it on purpose, though?
I don't know. It's the WWE. You never know.
Maybe Vince just wanted to try something different.
Shot himself in the foot then if that happened.
Yeah, well, he does that a lot.
So yeah,
he has several feet. I don't know.
Let's say you are the power-hungry Vince McMahon there. You desperately want your viewership to increase. You want your fans cheering all night. You want them talking about it the next day with their friends. You want to beat Monday Night Football, more importantly, Arif. What do you do in the coming week or weeks to improve all of that? Get fans talking and making it a good show, have them cheering, and obviously increasing your viewership.
What do I do?
If you're Vince.
If I'm Vince...
Without the voice, please.
Without the voice.
Without the voice.
No, please, with the voice.
I won't be able to understand you then.
I don't know what to do.
Do the voice.
In the middle.
Do the
voice. Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Whoa.
No.
Where's this going? This is...
No. Imran, take over. You gotta take over.
Hey, man, what was you
Oh, no. I can't do it either. If I was... I don't know. I think he's doing a good thing by getting us talking, by having the star attractions like Brock on the show. I think it's a problem that Raw's had the same problem Raw's had for a very long time, which is just the scripting, just the way that they've been utilizing their superstars like the Divas.
Well, how is NXT so good? This is the thing, because even though it's a smaller scale production, is it because it's an hour long? Is it because Triple H is running it? Or is it like a combination of everything along with the superstars that are there? Because we've seen the superstars come up to Raw. We've seen people like Adrian Neville come up to Raw and not be used properly. We've seen people like Bray Wyatt come up to Raw. And yeah, he's been used amazingly, but that's because of him and his character and his charisma. This is the thing. I don't see, like, NXT shouldn't be so good and Raw shouldn't be so bad. But that just seems to be the case.
I think a lot of people are saying...
With NXT, you're looking at a more wrestling-driven show. It's about the in-ring competition.
That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be. I'm just saying, why is it so good?
It's all about the matches. That's the focus, and they focus on what they're good at.
So we had Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns this week in the main event. Was that not a good match?
I enjoyed it.
That was a good match.
A fantastic match, but no one's talking about it. Everyone's talking about the crowd reaction. Everyone's talking about the other segments that ruined it. Whereas on NXT, you'll have maybe 3 matches. And this is because it's an hour. And this is because they can get away with it because it's on the WWE Network. Yeah. You'll have 3 matches, so you can have a standout match. Whereas this week, we had John Cena versus Xavier Woods, followed by John Cena and the Dudley Boys versus 3MB, the other 3MB. Where are they from? Brother, you gotta help me out. New Day. We had that as the opening for Raw. Then we had a really terrible Diva segment. Then we had the Big Show in a match. Squashing Mark Henry, someone that gave him trouble in the past. It just doesn't work. Why is it? I don't even know what I'm ranting about anymore. I'm just angry.
Everyone online does say Raw needs to go 2 hours. Is that the way to go then? To improve?
Yes.
I'm stuck with this one.
No, it can't be. 3 hours ruins it. They have to fill it. Imran, they have to fill it with people like Wade Barrett returning to no crowd reaction.
Yeah.
If I was Vince McMahon backstage at Raw, firstly, I'd be really happy because I'd be really rich. Secondly, I would have not sent Barrett out there. I wouldn't have sent him out there because that reaction now cements his place on the roster once again. And he wasn't ever going to be a main eventer, but now he's hardly even going to be seen as mid-card. That first reaction says a lot. It's like the Shockmaster falling over.
We'll get to
That's
Barrett.
what I attribute it to.
We'll get to Barrett in a little bit. Just before we finish off, so if you were to hazard a guess, next week when we're sat, are we going to say the Boston crowd in Raw was a good crowd?
It's Boston next week?
It's Boston next week.
Oh, we got no problem.
So, good crowd.
Yeah.
Well, me and Imran are going.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks for the invite.
This is really awkward.
It is.
I meant Imran and I are going. Sorry.
Oh, that makes it so much better. I'll see you guys there. One thing you did say was King Barrett. He should have received a massive reaction. In England, he would have anyway. Unfortunately, it was the return of King Barrett and not Bad News Barrett. Nevertheless, he's back. Hits a bullhammer on Neville, followed it up on Stardust. First off, what did we make of his return?
I didn't even recognize him.
He looked really skinny, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's got
really skinny.
Got into shape, though. Better than what he was in his Nexus days, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he was relatively large if you compare. Yeah. It's like Michael Cole now.
Yeah, I've seen that picture today, actually.
You see the picture?
Yeah.
Michael
Which picture?
Imran, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
He's ripped.
I need to see this.
Everybody Google Michael Cole transformation. Well, I don't know if you'll find it, actually. But
It's
just
impressive.
go-
It's very
it's on the
impressive.
WWE website. Wade Barrett.
So, yeah, what did you make of his return?
I don't know where he fits in the storylines.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to come. I didn't want him to come. I didn't think he was needed to come because I thought the match was actually going great between Stardust and Adrian Neville. I would have just been content with the match itself. I didn't need this big return that really got a really mixed reaction. It's left me confused.
See, this is where you could have easily had Barrett help Neville.
Yeah.
And then you could start up this whole UK stable through this. Or not even a United Kingdom, just have maybe the Brits. That's again United. Sorry, maybe just the Englishmen. There we go. And we have Barrett and Neville on the same side to take on Stardust versus the Ascension. And that's a terrible idea. I'll be completely honest with you. That's probably the worst idea I've ever come up with. But it's better than what's currently happening with Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
And with Stardust and with Neville.
I didn't like it either. I think, first off, because of the crowd. So it didn't feel like a return. It just felt like an interference.
Don't call it a comeback.
I'm not sure what was so important that they felt they needed to come back right now. I know he's filming a movie in the UK. I thought maybe they could have waited a month until...
What's he filming?
I have no idea. I thought they could have waited... I thought they could have waited until Raw in Manchester next month. Missed 4 shows would have been no difference. That would have got him a really good reaction. But as Imran said, it's confusing to see where he's going to fit in because he attacked Neville, he attacked Stardust. Is he a face? Is he a heel? Stardust has got the Ascension with him. So that I have to ask, what makes Barrett relevant now?
But
what makes his return seem like something big, something we missed, someone we missed?
It
and
doesn't,
want to see.
He's had this so many times over the past couple of years where he's just been injured and gone, dropped the IC title and we don't remember that, and gone and then return, and I mean it just puts him right back into that limbo state he was always in. Yeah. And it's so frustrating to see that because he's got a lot to offer WWE. There's so much potential there. There's so much they could do with the bad news Barrett character itself.
That's what I was going to say. I think the key thing would have been to have him return as Bad News, which would have been one step in the right direction. But with that crowd, nothing would have worked, to be honest.
It's a really frustrating and difficult position to be in as a WWE fan, as a fan of Wade Barrett as well. Because he does, like Imran said, he does have all the potential. He has all the tools, as Jim Ross used to say. It's just WWE doesn't know how to use them.
So, based on what we've seen of Barrett from Nexus, the Core, whatever he's done, should he have been a world champion by now? Should he have been a world champion by now?
See, this is a difficult one because
at the height of his...
this is the point though, because if they'd used him better, then yes, but you could say that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I can't think of many people on the roster who, if they weren't given the right opportunity, couldn't be a credible WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. Wade Barrett is, again, not one of those people. I reckon he could be a credible WWE World Heavyweight Champion if he was given the right sort of push, and he hasn't been given that.
Yeah, right now, I don't see that. I think, as I said, back in the Nexus days, it would have been perfect as the heel. I mean, if Imran said on the show, if Jack Swagger can hold the title, I'm sure.
Yeah. There you go. Barrett. And that says it all. And fair dues, it was the world title at the time.
Exactly.
But he could do it.
Do you think if the world title was still around,
don't make me dream like that.
I think he would have been a top contender for sure.
I would be so... If the world title was still around, I would want Cody Rhodes or Stardust to hold that championship.
Yeah.
Because I think he could elevate it.
Of course. So
Cody Rhodes or Stardust?
Well, no, they can't both. They can't be in the same room together.
Not the same person, are they?
I thought it was like the Usos where you just have a mirror in between. But...
No, but it's funny you say that. Because the Dudley boys, I've worked it out. There's only one Dudley boy.
Okay.
It's
all just it's a shadow and it's
just Bubba Ray, isn't it?
It's just Bubba Ray and there's a shadow and the shadow Spike Dudley. If you thought anything else, you were racist.
I didn't think anything else. Let's get back to
anything
Barrett.
Else, you're racist.
So obviously we don't think he's gonna hit the heights he hit when he was with Nexus.
Hit the heights he
Uh,
hit.
uh,
That's quite good. Well played.
uh, Thank you again. Two compliments in a day from my This is going well. Uh,
Don't push it.
Money in the Bank. Is Barrett a legitimate contender?
No.
Could he be?
This is like 6 months away. Why? What?
Could he be? This is the direction we're going in.
Reza, do you know what month it is?
I don't.
It's like the end of September. Like Money in the Bank is in June or July.
Could he be? That's my point.
But this is the like if wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean because we don't know. Well, that doesn't even make sense. But we don't know right now because we don't know where he'll be in 6 months. Right now, he's definitely.
Because how would you book him then? What do you think you should do with him? I know he's got a feud with
Put him in a
Neville.
stable. Make him the focal point of a stable.
Again, third one.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that happened. Bring him up with some up and comers, called the Stable Nexus.
Which feud? Okay, which feud should be lined up for him then to get the best out of him, whatever that
Do
is.
we turn him face now? That's the thing.
Yeah, we do.
Do we turn him face, but like the really cocky, arrogant sort of face?
I think
So he's still bad news.
Yeah, so he can still be bad news, but
exactly.
he's good bad news.
I think as Bad News Barry, he gets a good reaction, and I think he's a natural heel anyway. So
Who would you put him against?
that's the thing. Right now, I don't know. He's attacking Neville. He's attacking Stardust. He's just in between. I don't know who can get the best out of him.
I could see him in a really good feud with the Dean Ambrose sort
think?
of character. Someone who would elevate him. Just like Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt are elevating each other in this feud, I could see. But then it looks like a downgrade for Ambrose. That's
Yeah.
the problem. That's the issue.
I'm sure we discussed that before with Ambrose. He needs top.
Ambrose
top
needs
class players,
a top heel to go against.
That's not nothing on Barry. It's not exactly his fault, but it's just what it is. Another big thing on Raw, Kane. What do we think of Kane? Corporate or the Demon?
Well, there are two different people there. Corporate Kane got his ankle shattered. Regular Kane popped it back into place and walked out to the ring and then got hit with a chair and has shown more life than he's ever shown in a WWE ring.
Is that a good thing?
This is the issue, isn't it? Because he's better than he's ever been, yet he's still terrible.
Fair enough.
I'm really sorry, but in my opinion, he's better than he's ever been right now. He's comical. Okay, not better than he's ever been because he was awesome in a tag team with Daniel Bryan. He's been awesome as a comedy character, and he's able to be a comedy character now, as well as being the Demon, which is quite good. It's quite entertaining.
The problem I have,
in comparison to,
the problem I have is I'm having a harder time believing he's a credible challenger than all the magic that he's using.
That's
I can
true.
believe that bit. Just
we're all gonna agree that he's gonna lose at
Yes.
Night of Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
He's
And
not gonna win that game.
I can't relate to that. I can't follow that. I can't connect to that storyline whatsoever. And I like Kane. I love the Kane of old. But recently, WWE can't expect me to push back or not remember what's happened in the past couple of years, where he's just been an absolute joke of a monster, being squashed, bringing up guys like the Wyatts, Seth Rollins, and now all of a sudden getting this title shot. I can't look past that.
But don't you think this is good for Rollins then? A big name, another big name under his belt. He's allowed to keep that title for a little bit longer. At the same time, he might beat Kane and then Sheamus will just cash in. So,
no, God, that's even worse.
I'm sorry to say it.
I would rather Kane be champion.
I don't know. So Arif, you don't like what Kane's doing?
I think he's better than he was. I don't know what else to say because he's fun. He's made me laugh a couple of times. I like the fact that he came out the ring last week on Raw. Yeah. I like the fact that they had the ambulance segment this week on Raw. He's been entertaining, but like Imran said, he's not a credible challenger, and that's where the disconnect is. Because even with Sting last month, we were always at the will he, won't he point. Like, he could credibly win that match, despite the fact that he lost to Triple H at WrestleMania, despite the fact that he doesn't look as good as Rollins does these days in the ring, and despite the fact that it didn't look like he was they were ever going to give him the championship, he was still a credible challenger. Kane has only ever been WWE champion once before for a night, I believe. He's been world champion maybe twice, but even those reigns are just not as memorable as you would think they are. Kane's not a credible challenger for someone who's been such a large veteran in this industry.
But who else would you put in this position, though? To face Rollins right now?
Well, you come up with the hard questions. Who would you put in this position? See, not as easy.
We discussed it earlier. I'm slightly biased towards Kane, so it's a bit unfair.
Yeah, but that's
for me to answer that. I want Kane to do well. That's the thing.
Imran and listeners, would you like to know why Reza is biased towards Kane?
Please,
Reza, why don't you tell them? Tell everybody.
I've heard this.
Why I'm biased towards Kane? Kane's the reason I got into wrestling.
What?
Kane sat him down and forced him to watch hours and hours of WWF.
Kane, as a kid, he scared living daylights out of me with his mask and everything. So Kane...
He was like, see no evil, Reza. And then Reza was like, what? And he goes, see no evil.
Yeah, so as a Kane fan, I'm always going to have that soft spot for him. I want him to do well. I agree he's not a credible challenger, but I'm happy to see that he's actually doing something relevant rather than nothing. I think Kane doing something is better than Kane not being on Raw at all.
Put him in a comedy tag team again.
Again?
I wouldn't mind that. I could see him being in a really good comedy tag team because he's not that good in the ring. I don't know if you guys noticed.
But he's a safe worker, which is good for wrestling.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's safer.
No, he's not.
He's safer than others.
He falls off the top rope whenever he goes and tries to do the crossbody.
He hardly moves, and when he does move, it's so slow. That's why he's safe.
There are so many times where he looks like he's botched a move. I'm sorry, Reza. This must be really hurting you.
It's not. Nothing you say will change my...
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Nothing will change my pain, okay. Let us know what you think of Barrett's return, the poor Buffalo crowd.
Yeah, how did we get onto Kane?
As well as Kane. Let's move on then, I'm sorry. Earlier this week, reports were leaked surrounding potential WrestleMania plans. One of those was The Rock. The current plan, as of this recording, is for The Rock to take on Triple H at WrestleMania 32. So is Triple H versus The Rock at WrestleMania 32 the feud we want to see?
Yeah, because, that's the one they've been building up for the entire year.
Mm.
Why do WWE continue to book these part-timers in these main event slots? Once in a while is fine, but the Rollins Triple H feud would sell itself. You could put The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. You could put The Rock versus anyone else. The Rollins Triple H feud has sold itself over the past year. It's been built up, and this is the time. WrestleMania is the time to pull the trigger on it.
Well, apart from Rock versus Brock, who else would you pair The Rock with, at WrestleMania?
To get a good match with as well.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
There's one actually. That's something I'd like to see.
Feud. That's a possible huge feud in the making. That could be a really awesome match for Roman Reigns to get over as a heel.
I don't think a Triple H.
Hey, I've just given you 3. What else do you want?
I don't think Triple H versus Rock would be the main event.
The Rock versus The Undertaker, number 4.
That match wouldn't be great, would it?
Oh,
a good spectacle, but not.
I'm not on a roll anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to do it at one point or another. Although she's ruled herself out of it, there's always a chance she's having us on. Ronda Rousey played a role earlier this year. Said she'd love to do something similar again. A feud between herself and Stephanie McMahon, can we see that happening? Is that something you want to see, or would you say a mixed tag is better? Because we know the star attraction is Ronda Rousey, UFC champion. The Rock, biggest actor on the planet, you could say. So, what would you rather see? 2 separate matches, no Ronda Rousey, or together in one match, which is not the main event?
Separate matches. I want to see Ronda Rousey beat Stephanie McMahon. I don't think anybody wants to see the likes of Triple H, the likes of The Rock in a tag team match. Takes away from what they're capable of.
Takes away from the stardom of The Rock, basically.
Yeah. Exactly. And Ronda Rousey, she's an athlete. She's an absolute beast. She'll be able to sell that match all by herself, work that match all by herself.
I worry for Stephanie McMahon.
She'll legitimately get hurt.
This would be like Brock Lesnar versus Vince.
Yeah.
She would get destroyed.
So are there 2 feuds or two matches / feuds you'd like to see?
No, I don't want to see Rock versus. Why? I'm sure I've just answered this.
I'm just making sure before we move on.
Okay.
So
Ronda Rousey, Stephanie McMahon would be entertaining, but because we know it would only ever go one way, and because we know that it would just be a squash, and it would be quite entertaining to watch.
I agree. Although based on other reports, I think The Rock versus Triple H is probably one of the best we're gonna get. Again, another thing that was highlighted earlier this week was good to think about actually. Randy Orton versus DDP, Diamond Dallas Page.
Hey yo, it's me. It's DDP.
Thank you.
No, he was here. Sorry, that wasn't.
Was the...
All right, bye, Diamond.
It's not what we call them. It's like a stripper name. He said himself.
He's not a Bella twin.
He said himself in an interview about 5 or 10 years ago he would have loved to have feuded with Orton, the Diamond Cutter versus the RKO. Do you think this is something the WWE missed out on?
Oh, absolutely. 10 years ago, Legend Killer versus DDP. You've got the Diamond Cutter versus the RKO.
It sells itself. Everything sells itself, WWE, but they don't. They choose to go with Rock versus Triple H.
I agree. I think the Legend Killer gimmick would have been fitting well with this. Those feuds might take place apart from DDP and Orton because we know DDP is really old.
How old is he?
He looks really old, but he looks in good shape. Obviously with his yoga.
He does all this. Yeah, his yoga is
exactly.
He's all his yoga.
That obviously leaves the Undertaker open now. Again, reports suggest that WWE have 3 names they're looking at as potential opponents towards WrestleMania. Obviously, that's when the big feuds take place.
Okay, can we guess?
You've probably already read it, so you're going to cheat.
I haven't.
Okay, I'll let you guess before I tell you. Then you can tell me whether you'd like to see it or not.
Okay. John Cena.
Okay, next.
Okay. The Rock.
Okay, third and final one. I've got a feeling I've already read this, so I'm not going to ask.
The Undertaker.
Undertaker versus the Undertaker.
No, we've had
How can there be 2 Undertakers?
Can I have a go?
Hey, you can have a go unless you've read it.
I was going to say the 3 most top guys right now, which are Sting, Kane, and Big Show.
Sting was actually not in it.
You're going to say 3MB. The other 3M, what are they called?
New Day.
New Day. I thought you were going to say New Day.
Okay, so the first name they're seriously considering for a feud with Undertaker and a match at WrestleMania is current WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins.
Oh.
Yes or no?
No, because I think that Rollins could be better used in a feud with Triple H.
Do you don't think it makes sense though? Because...
It would, yes, and that's where I was going to get to. Yeah. I've just realised the 3 names, are they the 3 Shield members?
No, it's not.
Okay, because that would be quite fitting if it was. I think we've discussed that actually at one point. But
they have got history with him, haven't they? When they
have the triple powerbomb. They triple powerbombed him through a table.
You got one correct. Current United States champion John Cena is being considered as an opponent. Surprisingly, never faced him in at WrestleMania. You'd think he would have by now.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since the two have had a match or been in the same ring.
And that's a feud that I think we'd like to see, but maybe not this year.
Yeah,
I think
towards the last stage of their career.
Definitely, I think there's more that you can get out of both the Undertaker and John Cena by facing other people at this moment in time.
Finally, and I'm not kidding you here, think about it. The third, they're putting a lot of faith in this guy. If this is what they pull the trigger on, Braun Strowman.
Oh my god,
is being considered as an opponent for the Undertaker. I'm guessing the silence speaks for itself here.
Who did the Undertaker face last year?
That's what I was going to get at. It makes sense.
It does.
It shows they're putting a lot of faith in Strowman. Picked up first pay-per-view win, debuted straight on the main roster without going to NXT, and now the Undertaker. That's going to be one hell of a year for him.
Yes, incredible year.
Can't think of anything better.
Can I bring us all back to earth and say that it's never going to happen?
You never know.
Why?
No, I'm telling you now. I can guarantee if it happens, I will eat a hat made of cake.
That doesn't count.
No, it counts.
So out of the 3, obviously, out of the 2, we're not going to count Strowman. Cena or Rollins? Which would you like to see? Which makes sense? Which is a feud you can see happening?
Oh, see, this is so difficult because I could see both, but I would like to see Cena over Rollins.
Right now, WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. I think that's speaks for itself as well. Cena Undertaker, massive match, biggest WrestleMania ever. Out of the options that we have left, that's probably the biggest one we should go with.
Ooh, but Seth Rollins he's had an incredible year, and what way to top it all off by facing the dead man, by facing the guy who's been the not only the benchmark but surpassed the benchmark. He is the legend that's killed all legends like Triple H. I mean, Seth Rollins facing him will ultimately be amazing no matter what. I mean, we saw Sting, who's relatively kind of the same as The Undertaker at times. Just imagine those mind games again at a whole new level. Seth would take it to a whole new level. Undertaker takes it to a whole new level as it is. I reckon it'll be an amazing match,
for me,
especially
though,
this year.
For me, the thing is, Undertaker Rollins, I can only see it going one way. Whereas it's
doubtful. You don't know.
Exactly.
You couldn't bet money on one winning over the other because it is so difficult.
That's just the kind of guy.
That's why I would save it for later on down the road.
But this is the biggest WrestleMania ever.
No, but we say that we don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, this is going to sell out in minutes. A big, massive stadium. I mean, attendance-wise as well. They're going to go all out for this.
We should do a prediction card next week on the podcast,
which means it'll take place in February.
In February, prediction card once the card's already been announced.
We've mentioned a lot of big names. Just quickly before we move on, one final name we haven't talked about in a feud: Brock Lesnar. Who would you want him to feud with in the build-up to WrestleMania? Considering we've talked, Austin's already ruled himself out. He said, "No, it's not me. This is rubbish reporting." He said.
Then it's probably got to be The Rock. Then see, this is what I would genuinely do. I'd have The Rock versus Lesnar.
Triple H Rollins.
Triple H Rollins. Have The Undertaker versus someone like Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose, and then have them go over The Undertaker. And that's really controversial. And I'm really sorry for bringing it up on the podcast. We're going to lose so many listeners.
It's just no subscribers on YouTube now.
That's what I would do. Because then you've got Brock Lesnar in a feud with someone who we don't know if they're going to come in and get absolutely destroyed by Brock Lesnar. And how good would that be if The Rock came back and we had this whole fanfare and build-up of the greatest of all time, blah, blah, blah. He comes in and gets absolutely dismantled.
The WWE are good at that sort of thing, building on history. Obviously, we haven't seen the rematch from SummerSlam 2002, I think it was. So they'll build it. You can tell the build-up's going to be really good. I'd personally like to see Brock Lesnar just dismantle The Rock as well.
Oh, it'd be so fun.
Let us know what you think as well. Which feuds you want to see in the build-up to WrestleMania 32. As promised, weeks ago, we are discussing Finn Balor. I know we still need to discuss Finn Balor and Sami Zayn, by the way. Our thoughts on whether they'll succeed. We'll save that for another time, maybe next August. This week, I was thinking... I've put up an article about my thoughts on this as well. Cheap plugging, guys, finest. Go and check it out online. Links in the description boxes. I was thinking...
www.wwe.com.
It's really not. Don't just... I could get so many more reads and you're just taking this away from me.
I've just earned us so much money from the sponsorship, Reza. Don't worry about it.
I've not seen the money.
wwe.com. See, there you go. There's another 30p.
30p.
Straight to the bank.
I was thinking, could we see the Demon Balor on the main roster or the heavily rumoured Balor Club? Before we get into the ins and outs of the rumours discussions, what do we think? Or Arif, what do you think is more likely to succeed? The Demon Balor on the main roster or Finn Balor leading a potential Balor Club on the main roster?
Wow, you came straight to me despite the NXT guy being sat over there. Wow.
I thought I'd give him a break because his birthday. Imran, okay, I'm sorry, Arif. You can listen to Imran. Imran, what do you think?
No, please, Arif, I want to listen to this.
No, honestly, Imran, I insist.
I've got to get an answer.
Please go ahead.
Imran, Demon Balor or Finn Balor leading the Balor Club?
By Balor Club, do you mean more of a Bullet Club?
Can someone explain what the Bullet Club is?
Basically, a group formed in Japan.
Yep.
A bunch of outsiders, the Gaijin, as they say.
So this is literally like a bullet point review. Okay, this is awesome.
They're not treated well in Japan, so they're gonna make a group and take over. And then Finn Balor jumped ship to the WWE, and the Bullet Club is still growing.
With AJ Styles.
Yes.
Let's not forget there was one point where they took over all the titles, literally all the titles, and then you've got guys like the Young Bucks, incredible talent that don't just appear in Japan.
Exactly.
or around America.
This makes something like Nexus seem average.
Yeah.
That's the level of Bullet Club.
So the WWE have tried this.
Well, I wouldn't say tried it, because the Bullet Club, everyone brings something to the table, whereas Nexus was Barrett.
Nexus had Michael Tarver in it.
Exactly, and a bit of aerial ability in Justin Gabriel, and
the one man band, baby.
Skip Sheffield as well. Can't forget Skip.
Oh
Hey.
yeah, he turned into Chris Masters. That's it.
Yeah.
So
So
exactly. TNA actually tried it.
let's know
With
we're
Aces
not
and Eights?
we're not-
Aces and eights.
Imran, what do you think then?
I
Demon
really
Balor.
like that. Oh my god, let's do it.
Demon Balor or Finn Balor leading a potential Balor Club. It's not confirmed.
You have to say Balor Club now.
Oh no, I can't.
Aces and
It has
eights.
to
in
be
it, man.
Demon
With
Balor.
aces and eights.
But Imran, this is what I have to ask you. What can Demon Balor actually do there? Because we've seen the Demon, the body paint so many times at NXT already. It's not like it's going to change on the main roster. He's going to be, if he's on every single pay-per-view, we're going to see Demon Balor 12 times. What else can he bring? Whereas in the stable, he can bring a lot. He'll have other guys with him. They'll ease him into the main roster, which is why I think a Finn Balor leading the Balor Club works.
But you're talking about a superstar that's gone from forming one of the biggest factions in global wrestling, Bullet Club, to being an individual. And I don't want him to lose that individuality. And I think what we're seeing right now is he can switch between that normal Finn Balor to the Demon Balor. And I like that.
And I don't think...
And even if it's a special attraction sort of thing, I'd be excited for every takeover event just to see his entrance.
And I don't think that would succeed. I think he'd be the same as Neville. As Demon.
No, there's two different complete...
Neville was...
I think the point that Razar's trying to make, and it is something that I echo as well, a little bit, so I'm sorry for this, Imran. But Finn Balor was really cool when he came out as a demon the first time. And I mean insanely cool. Like, we hadn't seen an entrance like that before. And then the second time he did it, it was still, okay, it was really, really cool. He's sprouted more wings and stuff. Third time, maybe not as much. And then more recently, he just didn't have the same pizzazz and excitement for me. And it does just seem like he relies on that entrance. And that entrance for me isn't enough to get him over. And that's what the problem is. Because it's great. It's all great once in a while. But when you're doing it every single pay-per-view, imagine if NXT had a monthly pay-per-view and he did that every single time and not much changed, and that's all he relied on. It doesn't really work. That's not the best way to get over. Whereas if he had like a stable around him and then he only ever brought the Demon out once a year, for example, at WrestleMania, that would be an immense thing to see.
Not possibly. Yeah, when you say it like that,
it does
sound pretty cool to see. I
It's...
just don't want him to get lost in a stable.
If he's the leader of the stable, I think that's again what Razar's trying to say.
That's the thing. With Bullet Club, he was the focal point of it. He was the main guy, regardless of being the smallest. He was still the one who formed it.
See, if WWE can sign the Young Bucks, them around Balor would.
I wouldn't go Young Bucks.
Why?
I wouldn't.
Dude,
I know what they bring, but I think there's too much controversy for the WWE to take that risk.
What controversy?
They're very outspoken, incredibly outspoken.
What outspoken?
It's worse than Ziggler's outspoken.
Yes, they're very,
very so
outspoken.
we have an outspoken guy on the roster right now.
CM Punk?
And his name is Rusev. Have you not seen his Twitter?
His Twitter's incredible. His
Twitter is incredible.
It's the most sexist account I've ever seen him. Currently employed. It's true, honestly. Just go take a look at his and Kevin Owens' Twitter. You'll be able to take
I am going to. You guys just carry on.
Let's focus on the Balor Club for now then. He's mentioned it in plenty of interviews before. He's dropping hints. People are asking him, is this person going to be in a... He can't comment on it. T-shirts are on sale. Balor Club's been trademarked by WWE as well, so we should keep an eye on it. I just wanted to know, if that was to happen, who would we want to see in the Balor Club to succeed?
Well, a huge name that's already been linked to that Balor Club is Paul Heyman. Heyman as the manager.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't. I don't think. I don't know. It's one of those. I don't want him.
You just not like fun.
If Lesnar's not
is
there,
that what it is?
If Lesnar's not there, I'll take it.
Yeah, obviously Lesnar's not going to be there. Lesnar's going to retire after WrestleMania for a short while at least. Imagine the Young Bucks, Paul Heyman, and then a beast with them as well. Not maybe Brock Lesnar, but another big guy with them as well. Maybe that goalkeeper that Port Vale sold.
Yeah.
Our American audience have no idea what you're talking about.
The goalkeeper, the
Hugo Knox.
soccer player.
Soccer player.
Okay, so how many
Mike Knox.
How many superstars do you think should be in the Balor
It
Club?
wasn't my fault.
What's the safe number to go with?
3.
3 in the Balor Club?
3 or 4 with a manager.
3 with a manager.
Okay. Imran?
Because if it's 4, it's where are you going to place them in a match? It's going to be too big.
But that's the thing. I think with the Balor Club,
I think it's more like
you have your leader in Balor, you have your tag team, you have your muscle, and you have a potential diva. That's what I see.
evolution, more like evolution in that sort of sense. That's how I would run it. So you have Balor as the focal point, as I said. You have the tag team in there as well. You have another individual who is lower than Balor, who has the whole friction aspect, and that's something I stole from Reza earlier on today. I apologize. But you have that friction aspect as well, and then or maybe a diva instead of that last person. Yeah, maybe not more than 4, including the manager / diva.
So Finn Balor's obviously a lock, obviously.
Would you go in the way of having established stars, one established star, and then with another NXT guys?
You can pick whoever you want, who you think is going to be success.
This is the thing because I don't. Oh no.
Imran, are you going to go Young Bucks as well, same as Arif?
See,
I've picked a 4th person. I don't know if you guys want to hear it.
You can tell us.
I don't.
We'll finish Arif's Balor Club off first. Then you got Finn Balor.
I don't want to. No. Imran, go with the young. I don't want to.
Right. Okay. I'll. No, please, Arif, please.
No, please.
Imran, you got Finn Balor, and I'm guessing you took the Young Bucks.
No. I think Young Bucks are great right now. I do see them eventually coming to WWE, but not just yet. In a couple of years. I mean, they're touring Japan, touring the world essentially. So I don't see Young Buck realistically ever coming in the next couple of years. So I don't know. I would stick to NXT guys, younger guys with one established star. But I'm really intrigued now, Arif. Who is this name?
For me, Schlago.
Yeah, please.
But basically, I can see Finn Balor, obviously. Otherwise, it's not the Balor Club. There's 2. My tag team would be an interesting one because I don't know if they're signed by WWE, but they're competing on NXT. I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
Who are these people?
The perfect members.
They're not real.
For a Balor Club. They look like a good tag team. Very good individuals.
Johnny.
Good way to introduce them.
Gargano.
Just research on the Main Event podcast. Very, very well prepared.
I'm just asking Jeeves. Don't blame. Don't mind me.
And then that's the thing. I had a few names. You can go Corbin. He fits in well, but he's the lone wolf. Sheamus is your established star. Cesaro fits the outsider that they're doing. So does Hideo Itami. So I'd go with Baron Corbin.
Ooh.
Yeah, see, that's the person I was worried about because of his stomach.
He'll keep the vest on for you.
If he keeps the vest on, then I'll be happy. I thought initially that it would really work well if Finn Balor was the main established star and you had the Young Bucks around him with a Baron Corbin-like character, but was more of a bodyguard / Diesel sort of thing. But now thinking about it, I would rather have Finn Balor surrounded by smaller people. So the Young Bucks, yes. Hideo Itami, possibly yes.
That's good for him because he can't speak English, which could hold him back.
Exactly.
Good way to introduce him.
And then a diva.
I think we discussed which diva would fit in.
But this is the thing because there is only one diva that would probably fit in.
Exactly.
And that's the last kicker, Becky Lynch.
I love that idea.
I agree.
I love that idea right now. Like going from bringing up Balor individually, keeping him individually. I'm completely sold on this now.
We got him, Arif.
See, but this is the thing, Imran. We've built you up, and the WWE will knock you down when they debut you next week.
I have one more name because I keep going on about this established star. So I'm thinking to myself, which, if any, what if you pair Demon Balor with another demon?
Oh, okay.
Kane.
I could see this.
He could be a manager as well. Would it work?
If I was to see that, I'd think Kane would retire and introduce his own demon to the main roster. But me personally, I wouldn't want to see Kane associated with the Balor Club.
See, if anyone's bringing in a demon, I would like it to be Bray Wyatt. But does that dilute Balor if you put him in that stable? That does, unfortunately. And you could have a Balor Club versus Wyatt family feud. You could have a Balor Club versus anyone feud, and it would be entertaining if you had the right sort of people in there. I'm still going with the Young Bucks. I still think Young Bucks, Hideo Itami is probably the best way to go, because that way you do get away from the Balor demon aspect, and then you can debut that when he does become an individual.
For some reason, I can still see Cesaro playing a part, and he's lost a tag team partner. Not in that sense. He's just not competing.
Where did he go?
He's just at home.
Does Cesaro not know where his house is?
I think I can see Cesaro in there. Maybe instead of Corbin, because he's already established.
Does Cesaro have Make-A-Wish? Does he do a Make-A-Wish thing?
I have no idea.
You should remember the child's name instead of just putting kid on his shorts.
Oh, good one. But yeah, Arius gone Young Bucks and Hideo. I'm going...
And the last kicker.
And the last kicker. I'm going to go Gargano, Ciampa, Corbin and the last kicker.
I think we should all put the last kicker in there. Becky Lynch in there. Isn't it crazy how Becky Lynch in there just solidifies it?
Exactly.
For all of us.
Yeah.
Unless Imran just picks his love Nikki Bella.
I was waiting for Imran to say, well, actually, you can look, but you can't touch. You keep dreaming for the stars above.
Oh, God.
And the lyrics end there. Again.
Yeah.
Imran, quickly, who's your Balor Club?
I'm not going to go with the Young Bucks. Going to go with the two people that you're saying. I can't say the name. Jimmy and Ciampa.
Jey Uso.
You mean Johnny and Tommaso?
Johnny and Tommaso, yeah.
Johnny and Tomato. Let's go.
Exactly. I'm going to go with Paul Heyman being the manager, Finn Balor, and...
we forgot Balor.
I'm going to go with Kane, actually. That'd be interesting.
That's very interesting. Obviously, it's not going to happen. This is just wishful thinking. Let us know who you would put in your potential Balor Club. It has been teased. Whether we see it is a different story. Okay, then in the main event this week, we're talking live from Madison Square Garden. We're not there, obviously. We're just talking about the event called Live from Madison Square Garden. It's a live event taking place this weekend on the WWE Network. Brock Lesnar taking on The Big Show. Plenty of other matches taking place as well. Let's quickly get through the predictions for the event.
Quickly get through the predictions. This is a real prediction show.
I'm confident, right? So let's start with Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Because Imran won the last one. He's the reigning, defending main event podcast champion from
the champion always comes out second.
Unless you're playing on the PlayStation and it's a title match and then the champion comes out first. So
that's really frustrating. Sorry, Imran, I tried.
So what match did you say, Randy Orton Sheamus?
Randy Orton Sheamus.
Do I really have to pick? Because I...
Not like it's the first time it's happened. Right?
I mean, if you don't pick, then I guess you lose a point.
He's already said it now.
You don't lose a point, you just don't get a point.
Don't get a point. I'll go with Sheamus because he has nothing better to do.
Sheamus it is. And Rizza goes with...
I'm going with Orton. Let's just get it out there. Straight away, one of us is losing then.
Here we go. This is going to be a good one. I will go with a no contest. Okay. Let's move on to the second match.
Dolph Ziggler, Rusev. Again. Ooh. I'm with Rusev this time. Dolph Ziggler won last time and that really annoyed me.
I'm going to go with Rusev.
Rusev as well. And I will go with the next Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Dolph Ziggler.
WWE, good job your predictions don't count, as you said.
I know, but...
WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Kevin Owens defends the title against Chris Jericho. That's only going to go one way, isn't it?
This is going to be an entertaining match as well. Chris Jericho, new Intercontinental Champion. That's who I'm going for.
I'll speak to him man as well. We're going for Kevin Owens, aren't we?
Kevin Owens, it has to be.
I'm going to let Imran answer this one first. WWE Tag Team Championships. New Day defending against the Dudley Boys.
Ooh, this is so.
It's the fact that they're in New York, and obviously Dudleys are from New York, wild crowd, and in the last live event we did see a title change as well.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, why I think the Dudleys might just do it is because Hell in a Cell's only a couple of weeks away. So even if they do hold it for a short while,
You could have a turnover.
Exactly.
Okay, but when we predict, we're predicting who wins the match and who walks away with the championships. Let's just get that clear.
It will be... What's up, the Dudley Boys?
Dudley Boys.
I'm going Dudleys as well.
Ooh, copycat.
The Dudley Boys to win the titles now.
Both, yeah.
Okay,
I don't think
that's for both of you.
Yes. I'll just answer for him.
And I will go with... I'm going to go with New Day by DQ.
Okay.
By DQ.
Then we have another championship match. United States Championship, John Cena defending it against Seth Rollins inside of a steel cage. Cena retains for me.
Yeah, Cena retains.
Probably the match of the night, though, I'd say. That or Kevin Owens' match.
Okay, Cena for both of you. I will go with your new United States champion, Seth Rollins, of course. Who better than Seth?
Finally, Brock Lesnar takes on the Big Show again. I'll be surprised if IF doesn't pick who I think is Imran's going to pick as well. I'm going to go Lesnar. It's
What? Seriously?
Yes, of course.
After all the build-up they've done on the Big Show, please, Reza.
It has to be Lesnar. This Go to Hell tour just ends if you lose it. It's like pointless.
That's true. This is the start of the Go to Hell tour.
He slays the beast right now. No, the giant is going to be slayed. It's a given. Arif, do you give it as well?
I see. This is the
Come
thing
on,
because
let's just get a clean sweep, please.
This is the thing, though. I can genuinely see the Undertaker interfering. That doesn't mean that Brock Lesnar is gonna win or lose. See, this is the difficult thing because this doesn't mean that Brock Lesnar's gonna lose because I still can't see Brock Lesnar losing, but I think there'll be a no contest ending. That's genuinely what I think.
My brain just got messed there.
Guys, like I think I might change my pick now. Well,
it's too late. It's locked in.
I'm sticking with Lesnar getting the win, but Arif, I completely forgot about the Undertaker, and we know Vince loves.
It's MSG. It's a great possibility that the Undertaker could appear.
It's actually something significant going to happen.
He gets no bonus points for this. Let's just make that clear. Let's just get that out there. He's said it. There's no bonus points on.
I mean, you could just vote for the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that. Hey, whatever man says.
You're just copying. Wow.
I won that title.
and let's be honest, the only thing that's different is Orton and Sheamus, so we'll know who the winner is.
That's going to be the first match on as well.
By the first match.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, I'm going to be excited for a Randy Orton and Sheamus match now.
There's some positive
those pinfalls along with Sheamus. Yeah. So just to recap, at the moment, Orton and Sheamus. Imran has gone for Sheamus. Reza has gone for Orton. In the Rusev-Dolph Ziggler match, both combatants have gone for Rusev. Again with Kevin Owens in his match versus Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship. Both Imran and Reza have gone for the Dudley Boys over the New Day. And your new tag team champions. Again, both Imran and Reza have gone for Cena over Rollins in the steel cage match for the United States Champion. I don't know why. United States Championship. And in the main event, Lesnar versus Big Show. Both Reza and Imran have gone for Brock Lesnar. This was the most pointless prediction show.
Imran, change something, please. You're the champion. Do the honourable thing. I don't know. I really want that championship.
I don't know. I can still see a Dolph. I can still see a Dudley Boy. I can still see it not going to. I don't know. I can still see it not happening yet.
You know what? I'm going New Day to retain.
Oh my God, Reza, you just dug yourself. Oh. Okay, well, all bets are final. Okay,
yeah, that's fine. I'll do it for the entertainment. Just before we finish, one thing I wanted to ask, just very, very quickly. Big Show, after this match, should he retire?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit too early with it just being basically a glorified house show. For someone like that, he should go out maybe at the... See, this is the thing. You could use him in such a better way. You could use him as the giant that gets slain by people like Cesaro in big matches that you build up after a long time and put him over. Not just feed him to someone like Brock Lesnar, who's a part-timer.
Okay.
Let's be honest, you could have put anyone in this match with Brock Lesnar, just like you did with Kofi
It
Kingston.
was scheduled to be Bo Dallas at one point, so
And that would have been fine.
yeah, I guess.
Because it would have been the same thing.
I agree.
Having Big Show as a giant who gets some offense in, gets some real shots in, but then loses to people like Cesaro, like Reigns, like we had for a couple of months. Who you could really use him in that sort of thing, like that sort of position, but maybe he should retire.
I don't know. I think he deserves one final big match, big moment, which we probably won't get.
Break the ring. Oh my God, he's gonna break the ring again. God, they're gonna break the ring again.
Imagine that.
They're gonna break the ring again.
I'm afraid that is all we have time for on this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you did, please give us a like or a play or a download or a comment or anything else, whatever it is you do.
Dislike or
no, nothing negative. Thanks to Imran and Ari for joining me again.
No, thank you.
Nope, you are welcome.
And we'll be, just I have to say that, and we'll be back next week with more news, more talking points, including the results for the live from Madison Square Garden event. So tune in next week to hear our thoughts on that and plenty of other topics. That's it from all of us. Have a great week.